What's up, YouTube land and VC vinyl community? It is very cold outside. It is in the teens, I think. It's been very cold the last couple days here in the Charlotte area. The Carolinas in general, it's just been cold. And so, I know I said that my last video was probably going to be my last one of the year, but I saw everybody else making these best of 2022 videos, and I thought, you know what, let me get in on that real quick. So I figured I would do this video real fast, try to at least, and pick what I thought were my favorite pickups of the year of 2022. I'll be honest with you, I don't listen to a lot of newer music, so most of these are all like reissues that came out this year. So I figured I'd just kind of go through. There may be a couple new records that came out this year, but I'm pretty sure most of these are just reissues. So let's get into that right now. First one I'm going to show came out earlier this year, and it is from the Black Crowes. It is an EP. It is their 1972 EP. 6 songs on this thing. They're all covers from artists that from 1972. What I thought was really cool about this was that this was the first new music that they did in years from the Robinson Brothers. Some good tracks on this. Papa Was a Rolling Stone is probably my favorite. They really made it their own. Just some good stuff though. Came out, I think, I want to say in March or April maybe of this year. I honestly don't remember, but really good EP. Just some really good stuff. Some classic rock done by a great rock band. Glad to see them back together again. If you haven't picked this one up, I would suggest you do it. Like I said, just really good classic rock songs. Like I said, there's 6 of them. Just good stuff. So check this one out if you haven't. Really good stuff. Man, I kind of got a lot, so I got to make sure I put them somewhere that I don't get them screwed up. This was a nice reissue picked up earlier this year. It's the Norah Jones "Come Away With Me." It's the 20th anniversary. My first video I think I ever did showed this one. This, was done all analog, Blue Note classic, or Blue Note. This sounds amazing. Really happy to pick this one up. Just a great album. Great jazz vocalist, kind of folksy as well. Norah Jones, just amazing. Was really happy to add this to my collection. Just great record. Great singer. Glad they did a 20th anniversary edition. I know there's a box set out there as well as this. I don't really need all that. Just to have the album is great. Sounds amazing. If you don't have it, definitely go out and get it. It's a great record. I'm gonna try to jump through these pretty quick. As most of you know, this year I got really into jazz. So there's gonna be some jazz records in here that I picked up and was really excited about. And one of those jazz artists that I got into this year was Bill Evans. This one came out this year on Kraft Records. This was You Must Believe in Spring. This is a great record by Kraft. So it's 2 LP, cut at 45 RPM. I want to say, was it Kevin Gray that did this one? Yeah, cut by Kevin Gray. All analog. Just a great record. Sounds amazing. If you haven't gotten this one, I know that it was pretty hard to find there at the end. I think I don't know if it's really easily accessible anymore, but just a great sounding record. Bill Evans, just a great pianist. So I really got into Bill Evans this year, got a lot of his stuff, but this one came out this year. Don't remember when, but was really excited to pick this one up when I got into Bill Evans and saw that this one was coming out and was doing my research on him. There's a really great version of the MASH theme, "Suicide Is Frightening." Sounds really good on here. Matter of fact, I think it's the last track on side 4. It takes up the entire track because, again, it's cut at 45 RPM, but just some really good stuff on here. So if you haven't heard this one, try to go out of your way to find this one. Sounds amazing. I I did get 2 box sets this year as well. I'm going to show those real quick just to get them out of the way. First box set I'll show was of course the Beatles Revolver. Oh, this mega. This is like my second favorite Beatles album. I did a whole video on this one. You know, I got a heck of a deal on it. I talk about that in my video, but this was a great box set. Really dig this one. I was excited because it had the mono cut. You know, thought that was awesome. And then of course the outtakes I think are great as well. Just a great sounding box set. Comes with great stuff, the booklet and everything. Very excited to get this one. Like I said, this is my second favorite behind Sgt. Pepper's. Was super excited to get the deal that I did on this one. So great box set. Probably my favorite one that they've done so far of all the box sets. Let It Be's right up there. I really liked the Let It Be one as well, but this one may be better. I don't know. I have to go back and look at all of them again, but really dig this one. Hopefully they do Abbey Road next, or not Abbey Road, but hopefully they do Rubber Soul next, like they've been saying. And then the other box set, it's not really a box set, but I did a separate video on this one as well. And I know there's a lot of flack out there on this whole thing, but I did pick this up this year when Mobile Fidelity did the one step of the Eric Clapton Unplugged. I did a whole video on this. This I think was actually the last thing they did before the whole Mobile Fidelity debacle happened earlier this year. But I am a huge fan of this album. It's very sentimental to me and my wife as well, but this is my favorite Eric Clapton record, and so when I saw that they were doing the one step, I had to get this record. I think it sounds amazing. Again, I did a whole video on this, one of my first videos. Go back and watch it. I talk about this record in depth. I think it sounds amazing. I love it. It's the only one step I own, only Mobile Fidelity record I own. I think it's worth it. I enjoyed it. I know other people out there were more critical of it. Me, I think it sounds amazing. Go and watch that video if you haven't. But I love this record. Love it. You will not hear me say a bad thing about it. So yeah, very happy to have this. Back to the jazz. I was very happy to pick this one up. This was a tone poet that came out this year. It's the Grant Green, Feeling the Spirit. Again, I got really into jazz, especially jazz guitar. Grant Green and Kenny Burrell. This was one of the later tone poets this year. The Kenny Burrell came out the same time as this one, and I thought I was going to enjoy the Kenny Burrell more, but actually I really enjoyed this one more. This is just a great record. Got Herbie Hancock on it. Really dig this one a lot. Listened to it probably more than the Kenny Burrell that came out the same day. Just a great record. You know, the tone poets never disappoint. So really excited about that one this year. This is actually a new release that came out this year. So one of the new releases. I think this one and the Black Crowes may be the only new releases that actually came out this year. Everything else I think has been reissues that I'm showing. But this is the Brandi Carlile, and even though it's a new release, it's technically not as well because she redid her album from 2021 more acoustically and released it this year. And I got this for my birthday in my birthday video. I'm sure you've seen it. But love this record. Love Brandi Carlile. Really love Brandi Carlile. I wish they would reissue The Story, because trying to find that one is almost impossible. When you do, it's super expensive. I wish they would reissue that one because I really want that record. But love this record. It's a 2 LP set on colored vinyl of In These Silent Days, and then this one. Very excited to have this. Just like I said, I'm a huge Brandi Carlile fan. Everything she does I think is great, so very excited to add this to my collection. I actually was just listening to it today. Love it. This is another reissue, Waiting for Columbus by Little Feat. This is, I think, one of the best live albums ever. Just a great live rock album. This was cut by Bernie Grundman. Sounds amazing. like I said, one of the best live albums of all time, I think. Just some great killer tracks on this. Little Feat, I think, is very underappreciated. You know, just they have some killer blues, folk, country rock sound. Some great songs, you know, just Dixie Chicken, Fat Man in the Bathtub. I could go on, but love this album. Love the way it sounds. Brittany Grumman did a great job with this remaster. Just sounds phenomenal. If you didn't pick this one up and you want a new cut of it, a new release, don't want to try to find a really clean copy of an old one, get this new remaster. Totally worth it. I've heard some people say it sounds better than the Mobile Fidelity that came out. I don't know, but it was a good price for a new album. It's a 2 LP set, of course. Love it. Listened to it quite a few times already. Love this record. It's a must-have. It's a must-have in your collection. This is technically, I guess, a new release because it is a remix that's never been released before. The Pink Floyd Animals, the 2018 remix, finally being released. You know, I got a good copy. I know a lot of people didn't get good copies. Yeah, there's a couple pops here and there, but for the most part, it sounds really good. I know there's been a lot of pressing issues. This one actually sounds pretty good, so I'm not complaining about it. I think this album sounds great. I was very happy with it. I don't have an original. It's just, you know, this was never one of my favorite Pink Floyd albums. Yeah, I'm not saying it's bad or anything, but it was just never one of my favorites, so I never really sought an original out. One day I probably will, just so I can compare the sound of them. Because, I mean, I know they're different, but I wanted to add this one because I heard so many great things. Again, cut by Brittany Grumman. But yeah, thought this was a great release this year. Very happy with it. So yeah, great release this year. Love it. Sounds great. Happy to have it. Happy to add it to my collection this year. This one right here was very happy to get. Very happy to see it get reissued for the first time since its release back in the early 90s. I've made a video on this one as well. I'm just a huge fan of this artist. Chris Isaak, Heart Shaped Box. This album right here, I think, is so underrated, so underappreciated. I'm a huge Chris Isaak fan, and to have this finally out where you can get it at a decent price is great. Love this album. Love, you know, and they've been releasing more Chris Isaak stuff. He had another release come out this year as well, San Francisco Days. I have that one as well. I just didn't want to add it to this list because this one to me is a bigger one. He also had a Christmas album come out this year as well that I really enjoyed, but this one I thought had to be on my list. Love this record. One of my favorites. Listened to this probably the most this year, actually, besides a couple others that are on my list as well. But love this record. So happy to have it. Been ecstatic about it all year. Like I said, listen to it so much. It sounds amazing. It's on white vinyl. But so happy to have this. Must have for anybody that likes this kind of music. Just a classic record by a great artist. This one was actually a record store day from earlier in the year, but it's Ray Charles. You know, this was his last release before he passed away. Recorded over, I think, about 2 years, and you could tell the difference in some of the songs. But this was recorded with a bunch of different other artists. I think it's great. It was never really released on vinyl, although there is a release out there, 2 LP, I think at 45 RPM, although this is 2 LP as well on gold vinyl. This was very limited for RSD, although it has since come out after. I remember when I picked it up, the record store I went to, the record bar only had 1 copy, and I got the only copy. I was very happy about that. It was hard to get. But this is a Genius Loves Company. It was duets with Natalie Cole, Elton John, Norah Jones, B.B. King, Gladys Knight. The list goes on and on. But great record. Sounds great. Also cut by Brittany Grumman as well, by the way. Listen listened to this a bunch this year. Haven't listened to it lately just because there's so much out there, but this was a great record though. Very happy to have this in the collection. You know, so much can be said about Ray Charles and just how great of an artist he was. Piano player, singer, songwriter. But very happy to have this. You know, again, it has been reissued since Record Store Day, so if you don't have it, it is more accessible now, I believe. So I would say, if you can, go out there and get a copy. But definitely one that I was super excited about when it came out. This one, big deal about this one, obviously, when it came out, because it was the 50th anniversary, cut all analog by Bernie Grundman. It's a 2 LP set. Marvin Gaye's What's Going On, obviously one of the best records of all time, I think. You know, Marvin had kind of gone through a lot of changes in his career. I'm not going to go into detail about everything on this record, but you know, again, cut all analog. It's a 2 LP set. With some mono versions of some of the tracks and some instrumentals and all that kind of stuff and some different cuts, but sounds amazing. Like I said, cut by Bernie Grundman, all analog. 50th anniversary. This came out, I think, in March. It was pushed back so many different times. It was supposed to come out last year, but it didn't. But you know, again, this is, you know, considered one of the greatest R&B records of all time, for good reason. It's an amazing record. Love this record. I've been looking forward to it for so long, and they kept pushing it back over and over again. So when it finally came out, I was super excited to get it. You know, finding an originals of this in great shape are really hard. So, you know, waiting for this version to come out, you know, and to finally get it, very, very excited to have it. It's a must-have. You know, the one step of this is so hard to get right now. It's so expensive, and you know, you don't need it. You can get this and be just as happy. So very, very happy to have it. And then lastly, probably one of the biggest jazz records to come out this year. And again, you know, for me to get into jazz this year, to get this record, you know, and to really be turned on to John Coltrane. This is definitely my favorite jazz record probably of all time right now. Definitely my favorite John Coltrane record. But Blue Train, the Tone Poet, this is the mono. I didn't go for the stereo mix with the second LP just because I knew that I wouldn't really listen to it. This was cheaper. Plus the original came out in mono, and I wanted to kind of keep it more original. But this record, I've listened to it so many times since getting it. I think it is just amazing. Sounds great. I can't say enough about this record. I think it's phenomenal. This really, you know, like I said, I was getting into jazz, and everyone was talking about A Love Supreme, but to me, this is John Coltrane's best record, I think. To me, this just was where it's at. And, you know, Blue Note, Tone Poet, spot on, amazing job. And I love this record. I love the way it sounds. I love the feel of it. Just the way he plays, the way the record goes. There's not a bad note, a bad song. Nothing on this record is bad. I love it. My favorite jazz record right now, by far. And I prefer guitar. I prefer the piano, but this is just spot on, perfect, I think. So, love this. My favorite record probably of the year. And very stoked to have it. Yeah, that's what I got. Let me know in the comments what your favorite releases were this year, whether they were new releases or reissues. You know, like I said, I'm not really I don't listen to a lot of new music, so as you saw, most of my stuff were reissues. But this wasn't a completely short video, but I went through a lot of stuff. If you like what you saw, leave me a like. Please leave me a comment as well. Appreciate you guys watching. You know, I started this channel this year hoping to meet some new people, leave my thoughts on music and vinyl this year, and hope to continue to do that into the new year and into next year. Appreciate everyone that has subscribed and commented. Hope to continue to do more of that next year, and hope you guys like what you see. Appreciate all of you guys. Again, have a great new year, and we'll do this again next year. Peace out. Love you guys. Bye.